Hello, Love Gospel Assembly, and those that are watching our Nugget of Hope series. For this time around, we are going to be discussing the mighty works of God. And what's interesting about the mighty works of God, that many of them are very incomprehensible. In other words, they're hard to believe, yet they are very true. So I'll be sharing about one in particular found in the book of Numbers, the 22nd chapter, and the theme will be Balaam and the talking donkey. So if you would go with me to the book of Numbers, 22nd chapter, I'll be reading from verse 28. And then it says, then the Lord opened the donkey's mouth, and it said to Balaam, what have I done to you that make you beat me these three times? Obviously, the story about Balaam and the donkey was that Balaam was on his way to curse the Israelites because he was commissioned. He was one of these prophets that worked for profit, and he was on his way to curse the people of Israel because he was commissioned by the king of the Moabites, who was called Balak. And he had commissioned him to curse Israel because they were at war with each other. And on the way there, he comes across an angel that God sends to stop him from cursing Israel. And by the way, the Moabites were interesting people because they came out of the incestuous children of Lot. In other words, the children that Lot had from his daughters after he had left Sodom and Gomorrah. So here we see where Balak asks Balaam in Numbers 22:6, and he says, now come and put a curse on these people meaning Israel, because they are too powerful for me, and perhaps then I will be able to defeat them and drive them out of the land, for I know that whoever you bless is blessed, and whoever you curse is cursed. Again, God was sending his people to the promised land, and they were occupants of that promised land. So obviously they were going to be defeated by the Israel. So the king, Balak, wanted to curse them, to stop them. So again, God sends an angel to stop them, but he could not see the angel. He doesn't see him, he can't hear them, but the donkey does. So the donkey tries to stop Balaam, and finally, after getting beat three times, God performs his mighty works by having the donkey speak directly to Balaam. And here Balaam answers the donkey in Numbers 20:29, and he says, you have made a fool of me, and if only I had a sword in my hand, I would kill you right now. This is what I find amazing about the donkey, that he's not only able to talk to Balaam, but he's able to reason, to rationalize with Balaam. And Balaam then realizes that God has sent an angel to stop him from cursing Israel, and he falls on his face in reverence to God. And here we see that in Numbers 20:34. Balaam said to the angel of the Lord, I have sinned. I did not realize you were standing in the road to oppose me. Now, if you are displeased, I will go back. Now, what have we learned from this little nugget of the mighty works of God? Well, first of all, we learn that God's word is true. And the accounts of Balaam and the donkey, the talking donkey, it's a historical fact. It's a historical record which was recorded in the Bible. God can use anyone and anything to speak to us at any time. And cursing others is not a good idea. It is not good. And further on, we see in the book of Revelations 14, this very story is portrayed to one of the churches, one of the 7 churches that Jesus is speaking to in the book of Revelation. And here in Revelations 2:14, it says, "And nevertheless, I have a few things against you. There are some among you who hold to the teachings of Balaam, who taught Balak to entice the Israelites to sin so that they ate food sacrificed to idols and committed sexual immoralities." Love Gospel Assembly, those that are watching, God sees our hearts and He knows our minds. So we should not be stumbling blocks by cursing others, by speaking about others, by just not being kind and loving to one another. So I want to end this by saying that we should be more like the animal that was with Balaam, this donkey. He set a better example for us than Balaam, the prophet for profit, was. And let us seek God's voice and continue to seek His voice through the mighty works of God as He has spoken to us throughout this month in the Nuggets of Hope. And I hope you enjoy this nugget. And God bless you and enjoy the rest of your day. I love you all. Bye.
Thank you for joining us in this week's Nuggets of Hope. We hope you continue to join us, and we hope that you are blessed by each teaching. You can join us on Instagram, Facebook, or YouTube. God bless you.